Hello everyone. I welcome you all for the lecture series videos of control functions of the hydraulic system. In the previous video, we have discussed about the few uh, direction control valves like spool valves and check valves, various special types of check valves like pilot operated check valve, restriction flow check valves, etc. In this video, we are going to discuss about the direction control valve uh, remaining configurations. So let us have a discussion. So now we are going to discuss about the three-way direction control valve, which is also called a 3 by 2 valve. So why it is called a 3 by 2 valve? We have a three ports. One is pump port, another one is actuator port, reservoir port. So there are three ports. It's called a three-way valve, and it has two positions: off position and on position. So that's why it is called a 3 by 2 direction control valve. So let us have a construction of a valve. So this valve, which contains the valve body, inside the body we have a cylindrical hole. Uh, about to the cylindrical hole, the uh, spool will slide inside the hole. The spool is connected with the lever. The By actuating the lever, the linear motion of the spool will be expected. The spool is subjected to the spring force on one side, so therefore this valve is called a spring offset valve. If the spring is having, we will be having spring on both sides, then it is called a spring centered valve. And the corresponding ports are there. Since we have three ports, one is pump port and another one is actuator port, then remaining port is called a reservoir port. So coming to the working, when under a normal condition, the valve is in off position. Because of this spring force, the spool is in the closed position. Therefore, the pump port is completely blocked and the actuator port is connected to the reservoir. The oil from the actuator is bypassed to the reservoir via this valve. So this is an unactuated position. When you want to actuate the valve, you have to move the lever from left hand side to right hand side, so which will make a opening. So when your hand force is higher than that of spring force, the spool will slide from left hand side to right hand side. At the time, uh, the reservoir port is closed and the pump at the top pump port is connected to the actuator. So we are allowing the pressurized fluid to the actuator port, which will make an extension of the actuator. So when you remove the hand from the lever because of the spring force, the spool is subjected against the spring. So the spring will pushes the spool to come back to its original position. Therefore, the pump port is locked. Since we are connected uh, with a single acting cylinder, uh, either gravity force or spring force will assist the retraction of the cylinder. At the time, the oil in the flank end of the cylinder is forced and it is coming to the actuator port and it is bypassed to the reservoir port via this mechanism. At the bottom of the valve, we have a small or if a small opening. Why this is because the spool is operated very close to dimension tolerance, even though there will be some clearance. There may be of leakage of oil at the spring side. So if the oil is accumulated, if it is not drained, which will create a back force. So in order to drain the oil, we have a internal drain line. So whenever the spool is moving from the left hand side to right hand side, the oil in the spring side, it is pumped to the reservoir via internal drain line. And this is the four-way valve which powers the double-acting cylinder during extension and retraction of the. Normally, three-way valve is used to control the direction of the single-acting cylinder. When you want to control the direction of double-acting cylinder, four-way valves can be used. So this is the typical application where it is used the excavators to control the extension and retraction of the cylinder. So four-way valves, either it can be manufactured by two positions or three position valve. If it is a two position, then it is called a 4x2 valve. If it is having a three position, then it is called a 4x3 valve. So which will provide a corresponding operations in the circuit. This is the two position four-way valve. It has two position, on position and off position, or actuated or unactuated position. And we have four ports. One is pump port, and actuator port A, actuator port B at the top, and the bottom we have a reservoir port. As usual, we have a spool which is having a different diameters, which is connected with the spring force. On the other end of the spool is connected with the lever. Since the spring is applying force on the spool, it is normally in the actuated or unactuated position. And coming to this position, we are connecting the pump port is called the actuator port. The actuator will make an extension, and the rod end of oil from the rod end is pressurized. Then it is connected with the B. Then it flows via B to the reservoir. So the fluid is bypassed to the reservoir. When you remove the hand, when you move the lever to the left hand side, the port B, right hand side, the port B will be connected with the pump port, and port A is completely blocked. So we are pumping the fluid to the rod end of the cylinder via port B, which will make a retraction of the cylinder. The oil from the piston end is connected with the A, and it is bypassed to the reservoir via port A. So these are all the references. Fluid Power by Antonio Esposito, published by Pearson, New Delhi in the year 2003, and Fluid Mechanics and Hydraulic Machines by R.K. Bansal, published by Lakshmi Publications, New Delhi, the year 2020. So in this video, we have discussed about a few configurations of direction controller. That is 3x2 direction controller, 4x2 direction, or three-way valve and four-way valve we have discussed. The remaining configurations discussed in the next presentation. Thank you.